Hello, everyone, and welcome in or welcome back to Midnight Morning Readings. We are here to do the December monthly reading for the sign of Capricorn. We're going to go ahead and get started and see what the overarching energy is for you today. So on the bottom of the deck, I have appreciation, indecision, and the thinking man. So I am really feeling with that you're doing a lot of reflection, maybe on this past year, or how the incoming year is going to be. But I really feel that there is a lot of self-reflection of what you want to do or where you have been. So let's see if there's anything, energies for Capricorn, please, Spirit. All right, that you would like to show me. Energies for the sign of Capricorn, please, Spirit. Anything else? Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, we have financial constraints, and then we have the temple path. And these are actual sequential cards. So 12 and 13. So I really feel, Capricorn, that as you are going through this reflection, you are really evaluating the status of where you are in your life. Are you where you thought you would be, and where are you going? And so you're really doing a lot of contemplation is what I feel. And that's where this temple path is coming into play. And when you have the temple path, you're really doing almost a reset. You're really thinking about where you have been, what has gotten you to this point, and what you are going to do as you are moving forward. Okay? Because if you actually look very closely at this card, you see that the path, it starts very similar to the Yellow Brick Road. And when you are really looking at this card, you see a lot of lights and epiphanies and just this overshining glow that is here. And I'm really feeling that this is a lot of reflection on where you have been, where you are at today, and how you want to progress coming after the first of the year. And you've got this financial constraints that are also in here, but you also had the man holding the coin. And I feel that you are, with part of this reflection, is you really felt that you would be in a different financial situation. So either you felt that you were going to hold a job that was going to pay more, or you were going to be at a higher level, or your income status was going to be different than what it is. And so you're really sitting back saying, okay, what's behind the other door? So I already see what's behind one half of this financial constraints cabinet, which means the other half still needs to open. So you are reflecting on how you are going to move forward with that other one opening. You also had all tied up an angel of balance that popped out. Okay, so this is where this all tied up and these financial constraints are really tying together. And if you see, it's 13 and 23, so very sequential as far as those go. You also have the man holding the coin, which is number 43. Okay, so when you're really looking at this, this is where you have come from. So you've got these financial constraints, but then you are moving into this all tied up. You're feeling restricted, like you can't move anywhere. But Spirit wants you to know financial abundance is right around the corner. You have to find the correct path and balance that you need in order to achieve these goals. Okay, so I really feel that with this self-reflection that you are doing right now, you're really looking at your financial situation with it being all tied up. But at the same time, it's really about finding what the balance is, what you want, and how you're going to get there. And you're doing that self-reflection into that path. What are your next steps going forward? Okay, so let's see what the current blockages or your challenges are that are going on right now, and see on the bottom of the deck is fairy spotting. And what this tells me, Capricorn, is you are not paying attention to the signs that Spirit is sending to you. And you're almost feeling like, did Spirit forget about me? Like I'm stuck here, I'm up against a brick wall. Like I keep feeling like I am hitting rock bottom all the time and nothing is going in my favor. But that is not the case. Spirit is sending you signs and messages. The question is whether or not you are seeing or actually listening to what they have been telling you. So let's see what other challenges you have going on right now, Capricorn. All right. So wisdom is on the bottom of the deck, as well as coming together. And that means, and nature signs. This is all about, so on this is wisdom coming together and nature signs. The block that you are having is you're not listening. You're not opening. It wouldn't surprise me if some of your chakra cards popped out as clarifiers, because I'm really feeling that you have got some blockages, that you really need to open up, do some meditation. You really need to start feeling and opening up to what Spirit is telling you as you are doing this self-reflection. You also had purity that popped out, purity and wisdom. You're in how do I say this? You're in a state almost of negativity, of just feeling, I don't want to say hopelessness, but just not a positive state of energy. And Spirit is telling you need to look at your thought process and look at what you have and what you have been given, as opposed to what you don't have. And then the abundance, the everything will come together with this. But you need to pay attention to the signs that Spirit is sending to you. Because I really feel until you actually look at what you have and what you have been given, and do that appreciation for what Spirit has provided to you, that's when you start looking at things differently and it will all start coming together. So I really feel that Spirit has been sending you messages, and you're missing the mark as far as interpreting. So what happened in the most recent past that was there? So self-discovery, boundaries, expectations, awakening. So this self-reflection that you have been doing, you have really been going back and doing this evaluation. I really feel with you're doing this, you're looking back on what has gotten you to where you are today. And I really feel you're already doing this. You're reflecting back on, what did I miss? What didn't I listen to? Did I listen to my gut? Did I listen to what Spirit? Was I open to receiving those messages? And you've really been doing a lot of self-reflection and meditation on really moving forward, because you really want to make a positive change. And it's coming. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, you have the poison ivy that came out. And the one thing about this is talks about irritability, agitation, just really something that's getting under your skin, so to speak. And so you've really gotten to that point of looking at this energy, and you've recognized that almost you have, to a point, you've self-sabotaged. But I really feel that you're now recognizing this. You're now recognizing this, because you had the fertilities, youth, that you were so irritability. You were irritated. You were rigid. You let things get to you. You let things get under your skin. You carried everything on your sleeve, and it was making you very anxious and depressed and just very on edge all the time. And I really feel that self-awareness and reflection came around and said, this isn't who I want to be. This isn't what I want to do. This isn't how I want to move forward. Because you've really come into a state of, you've progressed to a point to where you're in a state of self-love and appreciating what you have and what Spirit has given to you. And that is where I really feel you are at right now, Capricorn, is you're realizing that you had to go through everything that you've been through to get to this point of saying, I know where I've been, now I know where I want to go, or where I don't want to go back to. So let's get a couple of clarifiers on what this recent past yeah. So the two cards that came out, that this is shadow work. This is self-reflection. This is working on your parts of you that you weren't happy with, so to speak, or situations or emotions or feelings or thoughts that really didn't serve you, really weren't positive, really just kept you in a state of negativity. And you can't come to this place. And this is where, with this shadow work, you recognize the irritability, how you were just in this negative state. You were in this rigid state of mind, where everything just agitated and irritated all the time. And so you've really been working on trying to move from this into a different realm, because you got transformation that popped out. And that's what this is about, Capricorn, is you have moved from this. And you've been recognizing and doing this shadow work, and really working on the parts of you that you're not happy with, that you weren't positive, weren't serving you, letting things go with love and compassion, because you have moved, you have transformed yourself into this state of love and prosperity and willingness to accept help, accept who you are, where you've been, and what you have or haven't done, and you're willing to move forward into a better sense of being. So you really have been doing a lot of this self-work, this shadow work that you've been here recently, Capricorn. And So now we're going to see where your current state is. On the bottom of the deck, you have cinnamon. And a lot of people will recognize the smell or even the taste of cinnamon with this time of year. They associate it with winter. They associate it with the ending of a cycle to the beginning of a new cycle and the rebirth of new life. And so that's where this intense passion comes in. And that's where you're at. You've moved into this state of transformation, into this passionate love, sensuality, really positive state, because you got hearts on the bottom of the deck too. Love and relationships. You've really manifested from this very negative and unhappy state to really working into a sense of self-love and care and passion and just really, really moving forward. Because you've recognized home is where the heart is. Home matters. Family matters. And it wasn't about the physical things, possessions that you had. You've recognized what you do have that means so much to you. You have recognized your abundance that you have. And you've got the owl, which is getting clarity, and you've got fire, which is ambitious goals. And these really, when they are coming into your present state, show your path of manifestation, of transformation, from recognizing the person that you were and who you have become and how you've manifested because you didn't like the person, or you didn't like the situation, or you didn't appreciate the negativity, the thoughts, or where you were at. And so you've really, really transformed into this very positive self energy and reflection, and just a state of love and forgiveness. And this is where you're at now. You're coming into this state and you're saying, okay, I know what matters to me. I know what's important to me. I know where my abundance is at and how I'm going to balance these as I'm moving through. You're getting the clarity that you need because you're listening to the spirit and what messages are being sent to you. And now you're ready to start moving into some goals. So the card that popped out is fertility. And we saw fertility in your most recent past as well. And fertility talks about life, talks about beginnings, talks about growth as a person. And when you're talking about this is that transformation that you have been going through, Capricorn, is you have been going through this growth, this nurturing, this almost self-discovery, because you're very aware. You finally manifested into a state of being and saying, I'm very aware of what I want to do, where I want to go, who I was, what I want to be, what I don't want to be. Really, really doing a lot of self-care, the shadow work, everything as you have been moving forward. This is just very dynamic, Capricorn. So let's see what's coming in your future, or in your most, is acceptance. I'll tell you, I shuffle the cards, I do my meditation, I don't know what's on the bottom of the decks. Spirit puts everything in the order to which I am to receive it. You are coming into a state of accepting your new position, your new self, your new and everything, and your new thoughts. And they're ready and willing and saying, you're here. You have just Excuse me. Because coming into this is family. And that's where this home matters. You have gone on quite the spiritual journey, Capricorn. You have really, really come through with a very strong spiritual transformation from who you were to who you want to be, and moving from a state of negativity into a state of love and positivity. And that is spirit, because it, family is about. And on the bottom of the deck, you have the dragonfly, and it's change. And you are to accept and willing to change for your family, for yourself, for your well-being. And this is just very, very strong and very intentional about who you wanted to be. And you've been very intentional about all of this entire process. So, any clarifiers for rest and rejuvenate, Capricorn? What Spirit is telling you is you've done a lot of work. You've done a lot of transformation. Now it is time for you to relax and appreciate who you are, who you have become, and just do a lot of and do a lot of reset, of rest and rejuvenation. And I really feel, as we're moving into this next set of cards, or next set of this next year, this is where this is all you've really been working. I really feel this has been excuse me, a life journey. And I really feel that this is almost something, Capricorn, that you've been doing almost this entire year. This isn't something that you just did a couple of weeks ago. You've been very intentional about doing the self-care, self-love, family love, aligning your priorities, balancing everything. And you've really put a lot of intentional thought into manifesting who you want to be. And Spirit is saying, we recognize what you have done, how you have gotten here. You listened to what messages we were sending to you, and now we're telling you, take some time for you. Do some self-care. Do some relaxation. And the new year's right around the corner. And that's a new beginning that's also coming for you, Capricorn, especially as we start moving into later this month, as we start moving into your birth season. So, all right, so clarifiers for this entire reading. Bottom of the deck, you had let go, anger, confusion. These were all things right here that you recognized that you weren't doing, that you needed to let go as you were moving forward. And you have been extremely successful in doing that, Capricorn. So let's see clarifiers for the reading as a whole. Tie this all together. Anything else? So on the bottom of the deck, you have failure. And what Spirit is telling you is, and go within on the bottoms of the deck and take the first step. You did what you recognized that you needed to do. You you were looking at yourself as a failure, as just this very negative, this very, very hollow individual, and you were willing to take the first step and actually realize that as you were going through this, that you went within. If you wanted to change, you had to change from the inside out. And you recognized that. And then you asked Spirit for help. And they sent it to you. Because look at what you have done, Capricorn. This is a magnificent reading and message. This is Spirit affirming the change that you have been so intentional about making has happened. And they are I just feel this astounding pride. The Spirit is so proud of you, you know, with this. I mean, for your final outcome for this, you've got Yang on the bottom, you've got chop wood and serendipity. And this is really saying that you have found your inner balance. You've found your inner peace. And it has just been absolutely beautiful. Because your final outcome is round and round. And what Spirit is telling you about this is you're no longer chasing your own tail. You're not going round and round anymore. You're not going in circles without feeling like you're going anywhere. You are actually, this is interesting. So you have, okay, look at this, the very first card that came out. Look at the path. It looks like the start of the yellow brick road, right? Look at the path that's on the round and round. It's the same path. This is the energy we started with. This is the end that we have come up. You have found your answers. You have found your path, and you have realized now you're not going in circles anymore. You're going forward. And Spirit is wanting to let you know that they recognize all of the hard work that you have done to move through this entire process, and how proud they are of you as you have been moving through with this, Capricorn. This is just absolutely amazing reading that Spirit has given you today. So that is your monthly reading for the month of December. I wish you all the best as we start moving in later this month, Capricorn, into your birthday season. And I hope you have a wonderful start to the first of the year. And this has just been truly a magical reading. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Feel free to leave comments as this reading resonates with you. And we will see you back here next time. Take care.